Um, Hi, today's video I want to talk a little bit about how I got to know God and really the scriptures that I depended on for my reason for what I stood on, that I believed God would meet me because of these scriptures. The two scriptures that I really depended on were found in Psalm 46 verse 10 and Isaiah chapter 40 verse 31. 46:10, Psalm 46:10 talks about be still and know I am God. If you look in a lot of Bible verses, the God part is italicized, and the reason it's italicized is because it's not necessarily in the original scripture. It was put in there so that you knew who you were getting to know. It says, be still and know I am. And so they put God in there so you knew who you were getting to know. So anyway, I knew that if I was just sit still and wait on him, he would eventually meet me. And the other scripture was, wait on the Lord and you'll renew your strength. I didn't say that verbatim, but there's a strengthening that happens when you hang out with God. So even if you're coming to the point where you have fellowship with him, while you're waiting, God is still doing something and he's strengthening you. And sometimes you don't really realize how much strength that you got in that time until later on in the day when you're doing something, you realize you encounter circumstances and you just know in your knower that you couldn't have done it without him. And even when you didn't know it, he was doing something. But in the waiting on him, the being still part is the hardest part. That's what I want to say here is the first time I went and sat somewhere to try and get to know him, I fell asleep 3 times. And it wasn't until the 4th time that I waited on him that I actually heard him speak. And it's just, he's worth the wait. That's what I want to say. He's worth the wait. It's not a hard thing. I mean, some people have a hard time. I think the hardest thing is just to stop thinking. You come up with all these things that you could be doing instead of sitting there waiting on God. And, sometimes people will have a scripture that they'll look at to keep their focus on the scripture. I don't do that because I don't need to. I have been doing it for a long time. And like I said, I fell asleep 3 times the first time.